Hey there folks, my name is Peter, and on today's video we are going to build a new flagpole for our boat because this one isn't going to cut it. So when I bought the boat that I have currently 3 years ago, it had a flagpole on it. Now it comes in two pieces, but the thing you'll notice right away is that when you connect these two pieces, it had already been duct taped together. So this thing was broke from the start. Then, after it was stored for the winter, it broke even further, where you can see the kink in it here, and now these pieces are no longer straight, which means it's not going to work to hold the flag on the boat any longer. Now my solution to this problem is PVC. So this is 1.25 inches PVC, which is much bigger than the old flagpole. But they had 1 inch at the store, and the 1 inch just felt too flimsy to me, right? If you're going top speed on the boat and you've got a flag there, I just think the whole thing would start to tip back. Now, of course, I could have bought a replacement for this flagpole. There's a lot of ways that I could have done this. I don't know that this is the permanent end-all be-all solution, but I wanted to try to build something. I wanted to try to bring you all along with me. So this is what we have for today. So the order of operations for this build is going to be pretty simple. First, we're going to cut down our 1.25 inch PVC to be the same height as the previous flagpole, maybe just a little bit taller. Next, I've got 2 eye bolts, stainless steel with a nut, and there's basically 2 ways that I could attach these to the PVC. One is that you drill 2 holes through the PVC just big enough for the bolt itself to thread all the way through, and then you nut it together. The problem with that, as you can hopefully see here, is that if you do it that way, all of this part of the bolt, maybe I'll do it on this side, all of this is going to be sticking out after you've attached the flag. But if I drill one hole bigger than the other, right, I will be able to come up through the PVC, right? I'll be able to basically come up here and then put the bolt through this bigger hole, tighten it down, and then I can actually cut off this excess if I want to. I think that's both for aesthetic reasons, also safety reasons. I don't really want this thing sticking out where the flag will be, which is on the swim platform, and then all I need is for someone to cut themselves on this. So that's my plan here. And then once we've got the bolts connected, I bought 2 stainless steel carabiners. I could not believe how expensive these were. These are actually probably a little bit big. I didn't really need a carabiner this big, but the smaller ones they didn't have in stainless steel, and I wanted stainless steel for this project. And then lastly, we have to have a way to connect the PVC to the bar on the back of the boat. We need something that's wide enough to go around both the PVC and that bar. So I bought 2 different sizes of hose clamps because I wasn't sure which one I would need. This is from 3 to 5 inches, this is from 3 to 4, and I plan to use the smallest one that fits. Okay, so let's try and start by measuring the old flagpole. 32 inches. Now it does have this kink in it, but I'm gonna call it 40 inches. So we want the whole thing to be 72 inches or 6 feet long. We'll go ahead and mark that with our Milwaukee ink saw. Here goes nothing. Okay, that didn't take very long at all. So you can see the new pole relative to the old pole. The new one looks a little bit taller, but again, because this is bent, it's losing some of its height. But I think this is gonna work. Now we want to come out the other side without breaking anything. It's pretty hot in the garage today. So I still have to get it tightened down, but you can sort of see that with the first approach that I was talking about, you have all of this sticking out, which I don't love. But this is just so that we can see the distance between the eyelets once you have the first hook set up. And then I want to see how much play we're going to have, both in terms of this flag, but also other more common 3x5 flags. And then we'll come back after and drill this hole out a little bit more so that the nut goes all the way down into the PVC, and then we should be able to cut off the remainder of this hook. Okay, so this is what it looks like with just the first half of the hooks on here. Of course, go Bills. I'm going to drill the second hole at 35 inches down in order to support about a 3x5 flag, right? Because the flag might be 36 inches, but from the center of one eyelet to the center of the other, I've measured to be 35 inches, so you have a ½ inch on either side. And if we do that here, it will work both for this flag, which is a little bit short because when I put this other carabiner on here and pull it tight, it goes to 35 inches. And then of course, for bigger flags, it just won't be as tight. But I think in either case, we will be all right. All right, now that we have both of our hooks installed, I'm gonna hook up the flag one more time just to make sure that I really like it. And then we will expand these holes and get the whole thing installed on the boat.
Hey there!
We have a helper in today's video. Okay, so my measurements were more or less correct. As you can see, this flag here, and this is sort of what I would expect, right? The carabiner on the top is pointed down, the carabiner on the bottom is pointed up, but the flag itself is sitting in there nicely. And if we wanted to weight it, we certainly could. So I'm going to start with my smallest, what are these, spade bit. We can always make the hole bigger, we can never make it smaller. So we'll just keep drilling until the nut fits. Okay, I had to go off camera briefly because I have been fighting with this thing. So ultimately I was able to get it to work. I had several problems. One, and I should have thought of all this stuff before I started, but this is just what happens. The original hole that I had didn't fit the socket that I needed. Okay. Then it did fit the long or the deep socket that I have, but only until like right here. Okay. Which is to say I couldn't get it as tight as I wanted to. Now, as you can see, that thing's in there because what I did, and this is why you never throw anything away. These spacers came off of a TV mounting kit. So I'm actually using this spacer. I had 4 of them in the kit that I didn't throw away. Okay, so this basically fits right over that inside. Then I'm able to tighten the nut all the way to it. So I'm gonna wait to make this cut. I'm gonna install it on the boat. I just wanna see how it works because before I lose all this material, I just wanna make sure that this is the right orientation and setup and everything else. Because if we have to move something around and I've already cut this, I'm gonna be a little upset. So let's go get it installed and see how it looks. Couldn't be happier with how this project turned out. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.